okay, some of these people that do these things, although you may be coming from poverty, but your parents have good morals. So how?
My parents don't have good morals.
Really?
They learned this stuff from their parents.
Really?
I used to teach my little cousins how to gang bang.
Really?
Yeah, they learned it from me.
Hi guys, welcome back. Now, you may be wondering what's going on because I have brought Telie back with me. I really wanted to bring you back for a very good reason. Now, after I finished shooting with Telie, we, were kind of relaxing and talking, and there were a few things that came out that I really wanted to be able to share with you guys. Now, one thing about Telie is he's very raw and very uncut, which is what I'm gonna call this episode, Raw and Uncut, okay? So if you are one of these people that cannot take things or you're very sensitive, this is not gonna be the video for you, because I really want Telie to be able to share his truth and his experiences of being in America and what that really is like, the side of America that perhaps we don't always necessarily get to see or experience. I want him to tell his truth. So if you're particularly sensitive, please look out for the next video. But he's gonna be telling the truth, the raw truth. So it's gonna be a good one today, guys. So make sure you keep watching if you can handle it. Okay, so Telie, as we were speaking the last time I interviewed you, we were talking quite a lot about America and your past and what it's really like. And some of the stuff that you said really surprised me. So for me, I felt like there was such a big difference between me being from the UK and you being from America. Like, it seemed worlds apart. Some of the stories that you were telling me of, how families are constructed over there, how your life was growing up and stuff like that. And so I thought that it would be really good for you to share your experiences of living in America and the real reason behind why you just felt like you had to leave and why you encourage other people to leave. So maybe you can tell me about that.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, that's not a problem. Well, my particular story isn't so much different than a lot of other brothers and sisters in America. Many of us go through the exact same thing. Not all.
Yeah.
But 90-something% of us go through the exact same thing. A lot of us have the same types of stories. And a lot of us grow up the same way. And so, one of the things that we were talking about was, how the family structure is in the States. And, unfortunately, what it is today isn't what it was like back in our grandparents' day and stuff like that. You know, back then our family structure was pretty solid. Even though we had came out of slavery, went through the Jim Crow era, we pretty much still kind of stuck together and everything. This is back when our grandparents really had a lot of traditional values, family values, core values that any strong family would need. Really good foundation of sticking together. You know what I'm saying? And that's really what it's all about, is sticking together. And that's for any nationality of people, any group of people. They know that, there's power in unity.
Yeah, of course.
Right? So, over time, what we've experienced over in the States is the lack of unity. You know what I mean?
Okay.
We've experienced, to be honest with you, systematic racism that really started to not only put us in positions where we can't have our own stuff. We can't have our own banks. We can't have our own education system, our own schools, our own daycares, our own hospitals, all of the things that you need for a solid community. A lot of us live in food deserts, right?
Desert, what's that?
A food desert is a area where there's no stores. You know what I mean?
Really?
Yeah.
No, like corner shops that you. Really?
Nah, you'll have like a corner shop that sells alcohol. You can go there and get some milk. You can maybe get some bread, and then there's canned food. But no fresh food, no fresh veggies, no fresh fruits, anything that that your body really needs.
Yeah.
And so a lot of us, state to state, city to city, live in food deserts. Where if you really want to get some fresh anything, you would have to travel, to the next town over or 2 towns over, to really get some food. And so that in of itself does something to you mentally and spiritually, because guess what? If I feed you from a youngin' nothing but junk,
Yeah.
that's you know what I'm saying? Like what goes in comes out.
Yeah.
Junk in, junk out. So anyway, a lot of us kind of came up in that kind of a situation. Big cities like the one I'm from have projects, where the government will stick a whole bunch of people in one building or several buildings, and then you're just stacked on top of each other, And when you're in situations like that, in neighborhoods like that, oppression makes you mad.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
And the entity that is oppressing you doesn't live next to you. They don't live in your neighborhood, right? So you're gonna be mad at whatever. You're gonna be mad at your situation, man. It's hard for me to provide for my family, or I see my mother struggling. What can I do? Oh, I'm too young to get a job. How can I help my mom out, or how can I help my dad get out of this situation? Because even though I'm young, I'm seeing them struggle. Which can be heartbreaking for a youngster. You know what I mean? But unfortunately, we're kind of pigeonholed into certain areas that they do not want us to come out of. They'll price certain areas out of our range. You know what I mean? And even if you do have enough money to go into a certain neighborhood that you are unwanted in, they're gonna do something called redlining. You know what I mean? Where they actually, systematically keep you out of a certain area and keep you into a certain area. Like you stay over there. Don't come over here where I know you can afford it. But no, we're gonna put up all kind of red tape and make you jump through all kind of hoops to keep you where you are, right? And so because of that, years go by and you're just stuck at the bottom.
So what prospects are there for, like, say, young children who have perhaps seen their parents struggle? How can you come up out of this? I mean, because you talk about projects. I mean, in the UK, we have like council estates, and so it's like a high-rise block, and like loads of families live in there. I mean, I'd say yes, there is oppression to an extent, but I don't think it's to the extent that America has it. And that's what I'm trying to kind of get my head around, like, why is it so bad over there, and how does someone come out of a situation to make themselves not repeat the cycle again?
I think it's a little worse for us over there in America than it is maybe in the UK. I'm pretty sure that there's racism in the UK as well. But it's a little bit worse in America because of, I think, because of what happened in America.
Slavery.
Yes, chattel slavery. And because of that, we're dealing with a different type of person. These people are definitely more blatant, more in your face with the racism. And to be honest with you, not much has changed from the Jim Crow days, even up until now. Even right now, people are still getting lynched. literally in trees, just like in slavery.
Hold on, no, hold on. But we're in 2022, and you're saying that it still happens.
It still happens. And you know what's crazy is like the news will report it as, oh, this was a suicide.
Really?
Oh, this person hung himself in this tree. There's no way. That's a part of our history. Even if someone wanted to take themselves out, they wouldn't do it like that. A black person normally wouldn't do it like that because of the fact that, you know, that's a stigma within us or whatever. And so we're dealing with a different kind of beast over there, you know, and not much has changed. And so you have a situation where you have millions of so-called black people, Negroes in America, and they are attacked by regular white people. They are attacked by other nationalities. They are attacked by the police. They are attacked by themselves. Okay, which is the saddest part, is because you know, we kill each other all day, every day.
But why does that happen? Why is there like the whole black on black violence when you all know that you're all suffering? So why is that happening?
Yeah, you would think that, hey, I'm suffering, you suffering, we in this together.
Yeah.
You know, why are you and I bumping heads, right? You would think that. But, you know, sometimes, I'm not gonna lie to you, sometimes I put myself in the mind of a devious, vindictive devil. And you know, if you were to do that, and if you wanted to systematically destroy a group of people, then I will put you two against each other. You know what I mean? That's the easiest, I mean, that's a war tactic. One war tactic is to get two people on the same team fighting each other. Then for me, it's an easy kill, right? And that's the shortest way that I can explain that, and that's exactly what happens. You know, just like I was telling you how, you know, even back when I was younger, like back in the 90s, I literally remember, you know, we'll wake up in the morning and, you know, start playing, you know, might be 10 years old, 12 years old, start playing outside and stuff or whatever, going to the alley. I don't know if you guys have alleys, but it's pretty much
not in the same way that alleys are just like small walkways, right?
Well, it's alley is a walkway in the back of a house.
Okay.
So if you got a block of houses, in the back of the house is the alley, and that's where you know your garbage is, and that's where you know.
Okay.
So we'll go into the alley, you know, playing around and stuff like that, and literally you would see a crate of guns, like. The police used to drop off, and I'm not used to, they still do. They would drop off crates of guns in the alleys because they know that we're going to find them. They know we're going to find them, and they know we're going to use them on each other.
That's crazy, because you think that when you see like someone with a gun, they've deliberately gone out to find that gun, to have a gun on them. But you're saying that it's not like that. They're literally minding your business, walking around a corner, and you see guns.
Yes.
And that's how it's coming into the neighborhoods.
That's a big way that it's coming into the neighborhoods. I mean, these people are poor and broke. How else, you know, they don't have a way to get guns.
Yeah.
Especially not legally. Another way that I remember, you know, and these are all personal experiences that I've seen myself and that we've discussed in the hood. Like we discussed this, like, man, where did this come from? We really didn't care because now we got some toys to play with. But, you know, you would think like, this is odd, you know. But another way that they would drop off stuff that we can use against each other is, I remember, so we would always have these, in certain neighborhoods, we would have these train tracks where these big freight trains would come through the neighborhoods, okay? They might be on their way to another state. They might be coming from Tennessee, California, passing through Chicago. But what these freight trains do is they stop off in the hood. They stop off in the hood systematically, and, you know, we come out, we like,
Yeah.
You know, because again, we thinking, man, I got to eat today.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so, man, maybe it's something on this train that I can sell, right? And so we would go, you know, start looking in the train. The train been sitting for 10 minutes. Why? Why has it stopped right here? First of all, it should pass through.
Yeah.
Why has it stopped and been here for this long? So we would, you know, see, oh man, the door's open. Oh, okay. And guess what? Guns,
Wow.
right? Guns. And, you know, people that's from LA, Atlanta, Chicago, New York, they'll be able to identify with what I'm talking about, you know, because this just didn't happen where I'm from.
Yeah.
And so, you know, same thing with not only guns, but same thing with drugs, right?
Because how do you get hooked? I mean, obviously it can happen, right? But for so many people to be hooked on drugs and you don't have money in the first place, like how do you get to the point of like you're on drugs? I understand that there are situations that you would access drugs because of whatever, maybe you've suffered a trauma or something like that, but how are people bringing in so much drugs and being able to afford it?
Big, huge quantities. And, you know, so one of the things that, you know, that you got to realize is, you know, with the American government, you know, when they first took over that land, you know, they came in and of course you had the Native Americans that was there, the so-called Indians. They were already there living their best life, right? I mean, everything is flourishing, everything is green. They have, you know, just a wonderful situation, you know. And then you have this group of colonizers that come in and literally wipe out a whole group of people, okay? You can live in America and for your whole life and never come across a Native American.
Really?
You can be there your whole life.
Really?
I remember the first time I met a Native American, my mind was blown. I was like, oh man, this is an actual Indian.
Really?
Like, wow, this is crazy. So, I mean, that kind of gives you some perspective of what really happened to these people. We're talking about hundreds of millions of people wiped out. And you do it systematically, right? So these devils, what they're doing, what they did in that situation is they like, look, we got to take this land. We got to wipe these people out. We're going to act like we like them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're going to, you know, we're going to give them, I mean, diseases. It's a lot of different ways that they waged war on these people. They went to literal war, you know. I mean, they had guns.
Yeah.
They went to literal war with these people. They put diseases on them, and they were able to literally wipe them out. A big way that they were able to wipe them out is by killing tons of their number one way that they ate, and the number one way that they kept themselves warm with the buffalo, right? I haven't seen, man, you can go to any zoo in America, and I've never seen a buffalo.
Wow.
Right?
Wow.
So, you know, we're playing with a very smart, very crafty snake, you know what I mean, that knows how to study a group of people and figure out how to destroy them. So, with that being said, they were able to wipe out this big group of people. Right now, we're going to start importing the so-called Negro from West Africa. We're going to start importing them, have them work for us for free, right, for hundreds of years to build this new land that we took over, right? And so, you know, once that just really began to happen, and once we started to come out of that situation, I believe that they were thinking, wow, you know, we put everything on these people and they keep rising up. We were able to get rid of most of the Native Americans, but how come we can't get rid of these people? How do these people continue after hundreds of years, right? How they keep rising up? There's a difference. There's a difference between us and everybody else on the planet. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, we continue to rise. we continue to thrive, even though we're still at the bottom of society, even though we still don't have our own things. And even when we tried to have our own stuff, like back in the 1920s, there was a city in the Midwest called Tulsa, Oklahoma. The state is Oklahoma. And there was, there was many massacres that we had to deal with throughout that time. But this was one of the crazy ones where, you know, the so-called white man, they were so jealous that you got this whole city full of black people that are actually thriving. They got their own hospitals, they making money, they got their own restaurants, their own accounting firms, and it was like a black utopia, you know, sort of like how Harlem was in the 20s. You know, you got this city full of us, and we got our own stuff, and we making money, and we doing well without them. They don't like that. They don't like when you're not depending on them. I have to have you dependent on me. That's what slavery is about, you know? And so, unfortunately, I mean, they went in and massacred the whole town, the Tulsa, Oklahoma massacre, you know what I mean? They massacred everybody, all the women, all the kids, especially the men. I mean, they literally drove planes, flew planes, and dropped bombs on these people. Okay, there's movies, documentaries about it, so check it out, you know.
So what was like, when you were younger, what was like a typical day for you like in America?
Yeah.
Like, what did you do?
Well, when I was younger, you know, even if you poor, you don't really know it.
Okay,
When you're
that's
super
interesting.
young, you know, you don't really know that you're poor, you know, until that one day. One day where, you know, you hit that brick wall like, oh man, we broke. You know, or you, like I said earlier, or you start to see your parents struggle.
Yeah, you start to notice it.
That's when you start like, wait a second, you know. So for me, it was, I think, a very common situation where you have a single parent household, and there's no father figure in the house. And so your mom has to go to work. She's young, you know, your mom is young, so she has to go to work. So I'm at home, me and my little sister, we're at home by ourselves. And, you know, a lot of the time we would be taken to our grandmother's homes. And a lot of us, we actually grew up under our grandmothers because our parent was, you know, not at home as well. So a lot of us didn't have fathers, and then your mother is not at home either because she has to work. So grandma will be taking care of us, but my grandma couldn't control me. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm in the street. So the streets is who really raise you. And so that's kind of how we kind of grow up, you know. You get raised by the street, and that's where you find a lot of your father figures. That's where you find, you know, your friends, and that's when you start to find other ways of trying to get some money, because that's what you're really trying to do. You're trying to eat. You know, what can I do to get me $20 today so I can go and get me something to eat from that same corner store? You know, and so growing up, that's exactly how it was. But it was fun. You know, it was fun. You know, growing up in the ghetto is fun. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, you just have these dope relationships with everybody else because they're going through the same thing that you're going through. You know what I'm saying? And
so how has it changed? Because you've mentioned the word fun. So you're saying it was fun. So why have you left? Is it not still fun?
No, it's not fun anymore. You know, it's different growing up in the 80s and 90s than it is now. You know, even though once you get into the age of, you know, your teenage years, that's when stuff starts to get real. You know, it's fun when you're an adolescent. You know, you 8, 9, 10 years old, but then when you get 12, 13, 14, stuff start getting real. People start dying, right?
There's not even that much age difference between you saying 8, 9, 10. I mean, 13, 12, 13. There's not much difference.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of difference, a lot of change that happens in between those years.
There's a lot of change that happen in between those years, and you know, you grow up fast. You know, you become a latchkey kid. A latchkey kid is kind of what I was just describing. You know, whereas like nobody's home and you got siblings, and so your mom gives you a key, right? So you get up early in the morning, you maybe walk your siblings to their bus stop, you walk to school, you got a key, you get out of school, you come home, you know what I'm saying? You're playing the role of a parent, you know, while your parent is gone.
Yeah.
And so it's like growing up so fast, it's like the chance for you to really experience your full 100% childhood is taken from you. You have to grow up right then and there, and that's the kind of the mentality that we have. It's like, yo, I got to step up. I got to step up any way, shape, form, or fashion. I'm too young to get a job. I'm about to get in these streets, and that's exactly what the government over there set it up like that.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you've spoken a lot about your mom has to go to work and trying to provide for family, but where is the man of the house? What is happening to the men in America?
Well, one of the things that the American government did back in the day, I believe, maybe in the 70s and the 80s, was they set up a system of aid, you know, for lack of a better term. I forgot the actual term for it, but for short, we call it aid, which is, you know, when the government actually went to these black communities and it literally had a caseworker come to your house and have a conversation with you and give you a proposition to say, hey, you know what? And they're talking to the black woman. Hey, listen, we have a new program. We are going to set you up where you're going to have X amount of dollars every single month that we're going to give you. And, you know, we used to call it food stamps.
Yeah.
Now I think it's on an actual card.
Okay.
You know, but back in the day, it was these. It looks like Monopoly money. It looks like money, but you use it like you go to a store and you might have $500, $1,000 worth of food stamps.
Yeah.
And that's how you're buying food. And so they're like, hey, we're gonna give you food stamps. We're gonna give you a certain amount of money per child. How many kids you got in here? 3? Okay, we're gonna give you X amount of money.
That
we're
sounds
gonna
like
give
a good thing. You're
it
helping
sounds
people,
like
right?
a good thing, right? And so, and because it sounds like a good thing,
Yeah.
a lot of us jumped on the opportunity for this program. But the thing about that program was that they said, hey, but if you accept this, you cannot have this man in this home.
Wow.
You cannot have this man in this home because guess what? If you got a man in this home, then you should be able to take care of the bills here. You don't need us. So if you want to take on this new program that we have, then he can't be here, right? And so again, that is systematic. They did that for a reason.
Yeah.
Why did they do that? Because if I can have the black man out of the household, okay, 3 things are going to happen. Number 1, now I was able to destroy this this home of how it was organically supposed to be.
Yeah.
You got man, woman, children,
Yeah.
right? But if I can cut the head off of the snake, you know what I'm saying? The body is gonna fall,
Yeah.
right? And so you take the head out, you take that strength out, and then you put that family in a situation where now he's out of the home. It's only one place that he can go is that's in the street, right? And so if he's in the street, there's only 2 things that can happen: jail or death. And that's exactly what we've been going through for decades. The black man, there's, I believe, over 2 million black men currently locked up in the American prison system today. That's modern day slavery, right? I even think that that's more people enslaved or in that kind of a situation that when slavery was going on, you know, per year. So they did that systematically, you know what I'm saying? They know just like they studied the Native Americans, how can we destroy them? Okay, now we got these people. All right, how can we destroy these black people? You know, and we keep falling for it. We keep falling for the okie doke. But, you know, a lot of, you know, now that we're in 2022, I'm believing that a lot of us are really starting to snap out of the slumber that we've been in. And we're starting to,
He's just waking up, right?
starting to wake up a little bit.
Yeah. So how can someone take themselves out of that situation? Because it just sounds like a vicious cycle. Like your parents go through it, you're going to go through it. How can someone break out of that?
That's hard to do, because as you asked that question, shoot, I'm thinking about my neighborhood. A lot of them didn't break out. I did.
How did you do that?
Man, I don't know. It was God. It was God. I'll tell you this. When I think about me and I think about my best friend, and I look at his life and I look at my life and I compare the two, and one thing that did happen with both of us that kind of allowed us to have different experiences than the neighborhood that we came out of is our sophomore year in high school, his mom moved them out of the hood to the suburbs.
Okay.
Same thing with my family. My family, I'm from a place called Roseland.
Okay.
That's the name of my area, and it has been dubbed the Wild Hundreds. And it's 100 block to like, it's all the 100 blocks, right? And so they call it the Wild Hundreds because it's wild. You know, it's a crazy place. And so, you know, my granny, you know, she moved from 106th Street and, you know, moved out to the outskirts, you know, where it's still dangerous, you know, but it's less dangerous.
Right.
You know, and so that's probably the only thing I can really think of that was the difference. But it had to be because we began to meet different people. We began to, I mean, I was even in a high school where there were white people.
Okay.
You know, I didn't have no experiences with them. But now I'm in a new school where, you know, these people, the black people and the white people, they got some money, you know, and then so you I don't know, I guess you start to have better experiences. So at the end of the day, to answer the question, to take somebody out of a desperate situation and show them something different is how you can get out, you know, because I went from that to a different school, to graduating, barely graduating from high school, but graduating from high school, getting into college. Then once you get to college, and I'm in a different state. You know, I went to college in Louisiana. Shout out to the Southern University Jaguars. I went to college in a different state, and at that time, before I got into school, it was crazy. We're talking about 1994 when Chicago was putting up 1,000 murders a year. Okay, 800, 900, 1,000, 700. You know, and so this is a lot of dead people. You know what I mean? And you could feel it, like you can feel when death is getting close to you. You know, and everybody's dying around you. You got family dying, you got cousins dying, you know, you got brothers dying, sisters dying.
Dying from what? Is it from
murder?
Wow.
Murder.
So have a lot of your friends been able to escape, or are they still in that same situation?
Some of them. Some of them. From my neighborhood? Oh man, some of them. But the vast majority are either dead, in jail. They were on dope. I know a lot of them that was on dope. And but some of them I see on Facebook today and they looking good. You know what I'm saying? And but the majority, the vast majority, like they're gone in the wind. But you know, that's how you can that's how you can help like a young child, is have them to see something different where their mind is. There's no way I would be in Africa right now if I didn't leave Chicago and go to Louisiana for school. Because when I went to school, now I'm in a different state. I don't know anyone, but now I'm meeting all these people from California, New York, and they're from different states and stuff, and they have similar stories, but they're from different parts of the country. And so you just start to have all of these dope relationships with these people, which I still have today. But what it does is it just opens up a young person's mind to, that are used to being in a 5-mile radius, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of us will just stay in a certain certain mileage your whole life, right? And so that is the best way for someone to get out is, take your little cousin, take him to a different state so he can see something different. You know what I'm saying? And then, he'll start this, okay, well, this is cool. I've been to this state, I've been to this state, I've been to this city, this is cool. Now let me see what's outside of the country. And then so we start to go to Mexico, we start to go to the Caribbean, we start to go to Jamaica and Belize, and we'll go up to Canada, and then you're on that part of the West, and then you want to see, well, what's on the other side of the earth? And then you come over on this side, and you go to Europe, and you go to, unfortunately, a lot of us still skip over Africa because of what they've taught us as well. But we really start to expand. You come out of college, you start to get a really good job, and you start to travel and everything. But it all stems back from seeing something different than just your poverty in your neighborhood.
So do you think that there was a one defining moment for you throughout your life that made you think, I've got to get out of here. This is my plan. This is what I'm going to do. Because you've achieved a lot. And from hearing your stories of where you've come from, I just feel like maybe there was something that just was like, this is enough. Enough is enough. Something's got to change. Did you have a particular moment that made you feel that way?
It really wasn't a moment. It was more so, like I mentioned, 1994. When it was just really, really, really wild and everybody was dying. That's when I started to feel like, if I don't leave, I'm going to die.
Wow.
Because I'm doing the same, everybody that's dying, I'm doing the same stuff. I'm with them doing these things.
So
I'm with them stealing cars. I'm with them selling dope. I'm with them gang banging. You know what I'm saying? And I'm good at it. I'm good at those things. We are very good at doing, we've been taught by the best, okay, at doing terrible things. And so, but it was, for real, it was senior year in high school. Senior year in high school was so crazy. And, if there had to be an actual moment outside of just a wild year, is when, one of my friends, Danny, there was a war going on in his neighborhood, and it was between two really large organizations. And, this is a kid, this is a 17, 18-year-old kid, and he just got beat with bats. Like he was caught somewhere, and he just got beat with bats. And he took a couple blows to the head with these bats, and he went to sleep and didn't wake up. And I'll never forget that. That was my homeboy. I'll never forget that. Like, that was a really, really defining moment as well. And then, I lost my brother. My brother was murdered as well. So,
sorry to hear that.
It's,
wow.
Yeah, man, what we go through is
it's
deep.
a lot, right?
Yeah,
it's a lot. I feel like there's so many people that would have had like these same experiences as you, and I feel like a lot of people are kind of scared to speak about them because they have fear of being judged, or someone's going to say it's not necessarily true, it's not like that, because everybody has a different experience when it comes to growing up, you know. And so you're saying what you're saying, that is your truth. This is what happened to you. Someone else may have had a brilliant life in America and has never experienced these things, you know, and that doesn't mean that doesn't devalue from what you've had, you know. And I think sometimes we need to understand that we've all come from different backgrounds, and these things shape us, define us into who we are today, you know. And so it's hearing your story for me, it's like, it's wild. Like, it feels like you've dictated a film to me. Like, these are things that you see on TV, but not necessarily true.
Our lives are definitely like a movie. It's definitely like a movie. You know, some of the stuff is it's a horror film.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people call living in the States. I'm pursuing the American dream. Not for us, for the black man, it's an American nightmare. It is a horror film. It's what it is. And you know, being here now in Ghana, you know, I really feel blessed to be here. And you know, I haven't been here that long, but I wake up every day like, man, I cannot believe that I live in Africa. You know, and it's so dope. But you know, when I interact with the local folks here, you know, they're all like wanting to pursue the American dream.
Yeah.
And I share stuff with, like I'm sharing with you, I share the same type of horror stories with them to let them know how it is for us. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I believe that the images that they're getting are coming from media, social media. They see the small group of people that have made it to be millionaires, the rappers and the ball players and the actors and stuff like that. And they think everybody's like that over there. No, that is not the case. Just like y'all poor and broke over here, we are poor and broke over there. It's the same exact thing. You know, the only difference is, you know, over here, you can be in poverty and live. In the States, we're in poverty and we're dying. That's the difference. You know, poverty is poverty, you know, but it's one thing to be impoverished and in fear of your life versus just impoverished. And so, man, it's brutal. It's a brutal existence. And, you know, I don't have no love for America. I ain't got no love.
No intention of going back.
Look, America has a lot of blood on its hands. Even before we got there, it's a ton of blood on its hands. There's a lot of blood soaked into the soil over there. And, you know, the big payback is coming.
Wow.
What'd you ask me?
I can't remember. I was just
I know what it was. You said, am I going back?
Yes.
I don't like to say never, but I be saying nah. I be saying never. It's not really, I don't see too much that I need to go back for. I miss the food. I miss the food. And I miss my people. I miss my mom. I miss my friends, my family, you know, stuff like that, you know, because, you know, I did well in America.
Would your family ever come here, even for a visit?
Would they?
Yeah.
I hope so. I hope so. I mean,
I'd love to see it.
Yeah, that would be dope. You know, I mean, I definitely encourage them. You know, and when everybody over there sees what I'm doing, they are encouraged. People are always in my DMs saying, "Yo, you know, I'm really inspired by what you're doing. I never thought about coming over there before, but I want to come and visit and stuff like that." So I get that all day, every day. So that's pretty cool. You know, I'm glad that the Most High is using me in that way. You know, but I don't really, there's nothing there for me. I don't.
I believe that you have a purpose here right now. I believe that you've opened a doorway for a lot of people to be able to follow in your footsteps and do what you want to do. A lot of people that have not been able to have the courage perhaps, or don't know the steps to take to do this, they can look to you now. And they know that they have a way out. And so I think you're really important in that sense, really important. And I never want you to underestimate that. You've got great importance here, seriously. Because you're so outspoken about where you have come from, and you can show people, you're not just saying it, you're showing people what you're doing. It's really, really important.
Yeah,
So I respect you for that.
Thank you. I appreciate that. You know, and I'm gonna keep doing that. I'm gonna keep that in mind when there's bad times, because you know,
of course.
life is like it's like a roller coaster. You know, up and down.
Yeah.
And so, you know, through the down times, you know, it's really important to hold on to encouraging words like that, so that you can continue, that you can keep going. You know, I'm a really self-motivated individual. I don't really need a lot of outside motivation. But I'm human. So, you know, sometimes when my battery is drained, you know, I do need encouragement. You know, and I get it. I get it. I get it online. I get it from, you know, people when they come into my restaurant. You know, they're really like amazed at how it is and how it looks and everything, and how awesome the food is.
For sure.
You know, and they always they tell me how proud of me. They don't know me. But they say, "Man, Judah, I'm proud of you." You know, and so that's really dope. So, you know, we're gonna keep doing what we're doing. You know?
Good. So, first of all, I just want to say I'm so sorry to hear about your brother. Really, that when you said that, it touched me quite a lot, because I just imagined, like, if it was my brother, how I'd feel. And so, so thank you for sharing that. That's very personal, you know. And thank you so much for talking to me today, man. You've been really real, and I love it. And so, you guys, please respect the fact that this is his story that he's sharing, and just take from it what you will take. And if you can help someone, always do your best to help that person, because sometimes we think that we're having a hard time in life and we've got our own struggles, but you know what? There's always someone that's worse off than you. There's always someone. You can take a moment to change someone else's life by doing the smallest of things that may not even matter to you, but that person will remember forever. So please, if you have the opportunity to help someone, always take that opportunity. I'm feeling quite emotional, so I'm going to end the video right there. So guys, please don't forget to also subscribe to Telie's channel as well. I'll put his link into the description box. You can follow him there. He'll be sharing more of his experiences in Ghana and all the other things that he's going to get up to. So I really do encourage you to follow him there. But guys, if you haven't already subscribed, please do me a favor, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. Don't forget to like, comment and share this video. Until next time, I'm out.
It's so now it's cool. It's cool to kill, to be a serial murderer.
So does that make you less of a target if you're someone who goes around killing people? Then does that make everyone else afraid of you, so you're less likely to be killed? How does it work?
Yes and no. Yeah, because you know a lot of our teenagers, they have about 2, 3, 4 bodies, and I'm gonna look at you. If you don't have no bodies, you can't hang with me.
Really?
Nah, you can't hang with me. Like,
really?
Nah, you can't hang with me. We the killers.
Wow.
You can't hang with us. Like, you gotta go over there. Nah.
No, but come on, like, okay, some of these people that do these things, although you may be coming from poverty, but your parents have good morals. So how?
My parents don't have good morals.
Really?
They learned this stuff from their parents.
Really?
I used to teach my little cousins how to gang bang.
Really?
Yeah, they learned it from me. Okay? I literally remember, Lil John, he 6, 7, and I'm showing him how to fix his fingers to do our gang signs. I'm showing him how to do the handshake, And so we bring them up generation after generation after generation, like, because that's what was taught to me.
So how young were these like children that you're talking about, like teaching them to do all this stuff? Like from what age?
That we would teach from the beginning. From the beginning.
Really?
Like, yeah, as soon as they can talk, as soon as they, immediately we teach them how to gangbang immediately. We at least teach them, we teach them who the enemy is, so-called enemy.
Yeah.
But see, we don't really tell them who the real enemy is, But we show them that, hey, look, them guys over there on that block, we don't like them. So we put that seed into their head, and they grow up, And what really got me one time is my little cousin. I hadn't seen him in a while because he had did so much jail time, And when he first got out, I remember sending him a message on Facebook apologizing to him because I remember I have pictures. I took pictures of him throwing up gang signs. I was like, all right, throw it up. I still have the pictures today, right? And so he grew up, got into all kind of trouble, spent way more time in jail than I ever experienced, got out of jail. He's still young. And I remember a couple years ago, literally apologizing to him, repenting to him for doing that, And that's how we just, it's a cycle, like you said, it's just a cycle. We just teach so their parents don't have no morals. Their parents was gang banging
They
too.
were the children as well.
They were the children, yeah,
That's just so mad for me to try and get my head around because, like for me, I've got my son, my youngest is just turned 5. I'm like, go and play with toys, like he doesn't know anything like that.
Yeah.
Like, it's just unreal. It's
the same thing, but it's just, in my situation, it's my uncle like, look at this, right? And he'll take the bullets out of it. Here. So this is my toy.
Wow.
I'm like, oh, now I'm fascinated. Oh, wow. Or I remember when nobody was in my grandmother's house, I remember sneaking through my older cousin's stuff, lifting up his bed. Oh, I got a gun,
Really?
And then I go outside with it, ready for something to happen.
Wow.
And so, yeah, it's the same thing. It's just really, we play with other toys. They're not toys, though.
Yeah, they're not toys, no,
yeah,
for real.
Yeah.
Wow, so what would happen if you were caught by the police with a gun on you, even though it has no bullets in it or whatever?
Man, you going to jail. You going to jail.
And it's just common. That's just standard.
It is a badge of honor. Just like killing someone is a badge of honor where I'm from, going to jail is a badge of honor. Like, you haven't been to jail? Oh, you can't hang with us. Yeah.
Like, your reaction is like how we were off camera and I said that I've never had tacos before. You're like, what? You're doing like the same expression, like.
Yeah.
So it's like that.
It's like that. It's definitely like that. It's like when you are more sinister, you're more devilish. Honestly, we are a very peaceful people organically. We don't want no problems, we don't want no trouble, but poverty makes you mad, literally crazy and pissed off. You're pissed off and you're crazy. You're already dealing with 400 years of untreated trauma passed down in your DNA. It's never been treated. It's never been treated. So you dealing with that. Whether you grow up in a good neighborhood or not, you got mental problems.
So tell me this. So after someone kills someone for the first time, that must be a shock to the system, right? You must be like, oh my gosh, what have I done? What have I done? That must happen on your first one. But how do you get to the point of having done it again and like you feel okay this time?
You get bloodthirsty. When you murder, there's an addiction that can come along with it. And that's how you create serial killers. That's how you have a 15-year-old with 3 bodies. Because once you do the first one, you want to do it again and again and again. You know what I'm saying? And so, you know, now you got a city full of people that walk around ready for you to say the wrong thing because they're ready to catch the next body. And they're not afraid to go into jail. When I go to jail, I'm going to see all my homies.
That just sounds mad.
Like when I go to jail, there's gonna be family in there. It's gonna be fun. You know, there's no women, so it's not fun.
Yeah.
But you know, it's okay because you're used to it. You know.
Okay, so forgive my ignorance, maybe because I don't really know that side of life. But like, how do you see, like, you've just seen like your family member killed, and you're out doing the same thing? How do you justify that? How can a person justify that to themselves when you've got the hurt that you've just seen someone you love killed and you're going to do it to somebody else? How?
Well, you're really in a mind frame of, well, somebody did it to my brother. You know?
So you're literally just hard. You've just become hard.
Oh yeah, numb is the word that I use.
Yes, that's the better word.
We are completely numb. You know, so, you know, I remember one time, like, I remember I ordered some delivery, some Chinese food, and the guy brought the food. I come out of the house and I'm paying. I'm like ducking my head into his car, and then like, let's say where that fan is right there.
Yeah.
You know, some dudes right there. They just start shooting, right? Boom, 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 and I'm like this. Let me get my change, man.
No.
These niggas acting crazy. Let me get my stuff. The dude freaking out. You know what I'm saying? The driver's like, oh my God. Oh my goodness. You know what I'm saying? And I'm numb to that though. That's nothing to me. That's nothing to me. A dead body is nothing to me.
Wow.
You know, you'll I remember like as a kid, you'll just be walking to the store and you know, there'll be a dead body on the train tracks just sitting there and be like, is that a body? Like, oh, he stink. Like, let's keep going. You know what I'm saying? And so it's war where we from. It's war, you know? And so when people in Ghana be like, oh, Ghana is hard, I be like, boy, Ghana ain't hard.
It's a party.
Ghana is not hard. Ghana is like Disneyland. Come to where we from. Go through what we go through. You'll see it's hard. Can you imagine having, and you know, I've hit on, you know, what the white people do to us. I've hit on what the black people do to us, to ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Can you imagine so many targets on your back? Every day, the mental stress of waking up, that's a lot. You know what I'm saying? Your best asset is at war with you too, the black woman. That's my best asset. That's all I got. She's at war with me too. Like, what the freak, man? You know? And so you literally go crazy, like that's how you have serious, because we crazy. We have mental problems. We are out of our freaking minds. We are out of our minds. And it's getting worse. And now just to see how the kids how they're doing it, it's just like, oh my goodness. You know, at least when I was a kid, there was reasons behind what we did. There was a reason. If we came to get you, it was a reason. You did something. You know what I'm saying? Now, it's no reason. You know, babies, they don't care. You sitting in a drive-thru at McDonald's, oh, there go dude, spray the whole car up. Yeah, his baby is in there, spray the whole car up. We don't care. Spray the whole car. You know, and that's just how it is. You know, oh, there's like I said, a group of 30 people in the park, but they the opposition, spray everybody. Little kids, everybody gonna get it, you know? And so we got the newest, biggest guns. You know, we have automatic guns that kill everything, you know what I'm saying? Like, everybody gonna fall. We have mass murders every weekend. Chicago takes a break on days like this, like Tuesday, Wednesday,
That's just, sorry, I'm laughing, but I'm like, that just sounds crazy. Like, so like you have holidays on that stuff.
Yeah. Or when it's cold in the wintertime,
Yeah.
I mean, it still happens, but the numbers are much lower because nobody's really outside, right? But so for instance, 2 weeks ago, because it's cold there right now, but for one day, it got to 80 degrees. For one day, 40 people over the weekend, 40. That's a lot of people.
That's a lot
Can
of
you
people.
imagine working at the hospital?
Yeah, it's mad.
Constantly gunshot victims all day long. You know what I did? I read the police report for the weekend. It was insane. Like the police scanner, they tell you like for every, they were just talking about how many stabbings, how many shootings, how many murders, how many robberies. It was just so much. I was like, this is crazy. One day, and then the next day, it went back to like 50 degrees, so nobody was outside anymore. You know what I'm saying? So in Chicago, when it's warm out, it's war.
Wow.
Yeah. You ever heard of drill music?
No.
Yeah, you have. Have you? You know what drill music is, don't you?
What's that?
Yeah. So, drill is a genre of music. It's the most popular genre of hip hop today, right? And it came from my neighborhood, the south side of Chicago, right? And so when you go on a hit, and what we call a hit is a planned execution.
Yeah.
When you go on a hit, we call it a drill, right? So you get together with a couple of your friends, like, hey, let's go on a drill. It's for fun, killing for fun, right? And so we call it a drill. So I'm like, hey, look, let's go on a drill. All right, cool. And so the young guys started to rap, you know what I'm saying? And we started rapping and making music to drill to or music to kill to.
Whoa.
So in drill music, we're talking about murders in the music. I did this, I did that. They telling on themselves. I did this to this guy. I shot him in the head 4 times and woo woo and blah, 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 right? And so this is another thing that the white man funded. He funded this kind of music. And guess what happened? It went from the south side of Chicago to New York. It went from New York to the UK.
Yeah.
It went from the UK to where? Ghana.
Really?
Kumasi. Yeah.
Wow.
And it pisses me off when I see Ghana doing drill music. Because I'm like, y'all don't even know
They don't understand.
the spirit that's on this music is death. Now here, they're not talking about what we talk about.
Yeah.
Because they don't experience that. They're not killing nothing.
Yeah.
So they're saying like, what's dude's name? What's the most popular drill rap out here?
There's Cowboys.
Okay. But what's the dude name? It's that one dude, Black Sheriff. He's the most popular one. You've heard of him, right?
Yeah.
And so, you know, I've heard some of it, you know what I'm saying? And they're so inspired by America that they call Kumasi Kumerica.
Yeah.
That
I
shit
know.
is
That whole,
dumb as
that
hell.
whole Kumerica thing, I was like, nah.
That's a no.
Yeah.
So there's a spirit that comes along with this music.
Yeah.
Even though they're not killing each other, it don't matter because that spirit will get on you and you will.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's not gonna be nothing you can do. You know, and so I'll see them in videos, even though they ain't got no guns, they doing gun fingers.
Yeah.
Boom, boom, they making the same kind of stuff, same stuff we do.
Yeah.
Brrr, you know, they making the noises of guns.
Yeah.
And they do it here, and they ain't got no guns, they ain't shot no guns, they ain't killed nobody out here. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
But they're
Yeah,
imitating us.
yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? That comes from my neighborhood, you know? And so it's demonic is the best word for it. It's demonic.
Absolutely.
And so what the media does is they just fund it because they like, oh, this is a music. They killing each other like crazy.
Yeah.
We're gonna put more money behind it, you know. And that's what happened. It just spread. It's global now.
Yeah.
Come from the south side of Chicago. I seen Ireland.
Netherlands, everywhere.
I seen Ireland drill. I was like, I'm done. I'm done. Come on, man. This is crazy. Come on, y'all.